Hi and welcome to Greening Things. This is Jenna. In this video, I'll show you how I painted my very first pumpkin. I'll walk you through step by step on the process that it took me, that maybe you could also take this process and learn how to paint your own pumpkin. Thank you for taking the time to watch. If you like it, please subscribe. Now here I started with chalk, and I did go ahead and put a pumpkin on the wood board with chalk. I took my orange and I went inside of the chalk and painted, and I'll do that through the whole pumpkin. Here I add brown paint to start to outline where the pumpkin shape is. And I go around and I do this everywhere. So I'm just going right over the chalk, not worried about it coming off, not worried about wiping it off, and just drawing out the lines in the brown paint over the chalk. Now, I don't take the time to clean out my paint. I go right back in with the orange. And you'll see with the brown, it helps shade the pumpkin here and there. I'll play the music again and you can go ahead and watch me fill the pumpkin in. I do point out right here, I forgot to do one brown line, but guess what? It doesn't matter. Put the orange paint on. Don't clean your brush, or clean your brush, whatever you'd like to do. Add a little brown paint, then go back in and draw the line. I'll play the music. Please enjoy. Now that I've filled in the pumpkin, I will start to shade. I will add white to the top and brown to the bottom. Enjoy. Here I start to turn my board around. I don't like to be feeling stuck that I need to paint a certain way. I can't have it up on an easel, or maybe I could and I could turn it upside down, but I like to feel comfortable when I'm painting, so I do turn the pumpkin upside down I thought I had too much white, so I added a little bit more pumpkin and brown to it. And here I'm adding more white. It's just about shading, and it's about getting to a color that you desire. And everybody's desire is a little different when it comes to what color their pumpkin is. Some people like traditional where they do an orange pumpkin, and some like the new fashion of doing a blue pumpkin or a white pumpkin. Here I do clean off my brush a little bit because I can't get the brown to outline as much as I would like, but I'm also going back in with some more brown at the bottom. So you just work this until you get it to where you would like it. And sometimes you may need to step away from the pumpkin, look at it a little bit more, and then go back to it. I go back in, I add a little bit more white, add a little bit more brown, and get it to where I like it. Enjoy. At this point, I'm going to start to add my stem. I went up about 1/3 of the way and out to the left and I just drew a line and then brought the stem down. No perfect stem, no perfect way to do this. Each stem is a little different. When you go to the pumpkin patch, each one is different than the next. I did add green to it, but then it started to look a little muddy. So I add more brown and I think a little bit of white. It's not a perfect stem, but I'm okay with it. The finished project turned out perfect. Here I'm going to add a couple curlicues. I watered down my brown so that it would make my paint flow a little easier. And I think I'm using the same paintbrush. I didn't change my brush. I may have wiped it off, but I didn't do much more than that. I think next time I'll use a floating medium instead of water. I am using chalk paint. That's what I like to work with. I paint furniture with it. I make my wood signs with it. So I went ahead and worked with chalk paint. You could probably use acrylics and whatever other paints that you may be familiar with you could use. But I just used chalk paint and drew some curlicues. And then I went in and added leaves to my curlicues. And you'll see here in a couple places that I thought I wanted leaves at the bottom, and I just wasn't happy with the leaves at the bottom. At this point, I grabbed a little bit more orange, dipped it in, and filled in a spot. And I'm going to go ahead now with my leaves. And as you see, I turned my board. There, those leaves look green or white, but they are green. And I turn my board so that it's in the direction in which I would like to draw my leaves. Sometimes when I draw my leaves, if I do it a different way, they look funny. So do it the way that feels comfortable to you. And at the bottom here, I put in 2 leaves. And I don't like the way they look. So I go ahead and take my napkin that's wet and wipe it off. And then I decide to go ahead and add some shading. Just brown paint. I might have a little bit of white, but I don't think I have much in there. And I thought, oh, I'll shade on the right side too. Add some white. Nope, didn't like it. So I went and took it off. That's the beauty of chalk paint. Here I show you that it looks like it's finished. And then when I was looking at it at the viewfinder, I thought, oh, it's only white up here. So maybe I should make it a little darker. And I made it too dark. So I added more white in. And then I went back through and I added more white in other spots. And more brown. It's just playing with paint. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I was trying to go around my curlicues because I already had my curlicues in there. And you'll see when I finish, I went over the bottom curlicue a little bit with too much white. That's okay. It still looks great. And I added more white to the stem. I think I have to go back through that to that stem and go ahead and was trying to give it some, I don't know, texture or something. I'm lightening everything up and there, put more white. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. I hope to put out more videos teaching others how to paint. Currently do wood sign parties, so if you're interested in a party, please contact me. I'm on Facebook at Greening Things, Instagram at Greening Things, and I hope to have my website up soon. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of the video and have a great day.